Alone, her world falling apart. A young priestess is taking a journey to the capital, a journey to make a difference. If Momodora is about anything, it's about the lengths to which one person can go to decidedly make a difference in her community, decisively change the course of her history and the history of her kingdom. It's a message you've heard 1,000 times, but it's probably one of the few messages you need to hear 1,000 times. No journey worth taking is without melancholy, without sacrifice, and most notably, without frustration and setback. You're gonna like the way it feels to swing a leaf. I guarantee it. And if the idea of persistence under the weight of frustration doesn't sell you on a game, then I don't know what does. And I know how that sounds, but for real, this game is old school in every way, so be ready to appreciate it for the testimony of art, music, and design that it is, not its novel approach to platforming, combat, or storytelling. I was actually surprised to learn that Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight is actually the 4th installation in the Momodora series. The previous installations were all self-published by Guilherme Martins, and then in 2016 he directed Reverie Under the Moonlight for the Brazilian developer Bomb Service. It's available on Steam, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. An additional game, Minoria, which is described as the spiritual successor to Momodora, was released on Steam in August 2019 by the same team of developers. What I'm saying is that if you like this, there's more of it out there. Like I said though, I don't know much about the other titles. What I can say is that the art from Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight was significantly overhauled from the first, second, and third version, thanks to the artist Hernan Zhao. The art was then overhauled again for Minoria, which now it's much more reminiscent of something like Bloodstained, if you're into that sort of thing. Reverie Under the Moonlight offers easy, normal, and hard game modes, so I did what I do, and I chose hard. Silly game, cute art. I'm like a grizzled Dark Souls vet, right? Brief tangent. I'm hot off the coals of criticizing another reviewer for striking a game for its difficulty. Fury was tough as nails, but see, that was the whole point. That was the package. It was a challenge within the context of a narrative about overcoming challenges. Makes sense, right? Momodora is an artsy-fartsy pixelated game where you play as a priestess and fight with a leaf. And if you're silly like me and you play it on hard, it will beat you into the ground and suck your soul dry. Alright. So we're dead about 30 seconds in. I did say hard. It sets you down softly into its rich, vibrant world with an innocent, voiceless protagonist, and then brings down the heel. This is one of the most mind-bendingly evil hard modes I have ever played. See, it comes down to how basic the game is. Basic dodge, basic attack, basic animations. The difficulty equation is simple. More damage, less life, and a healthy space between save points. Mix in some dodge frames that are a little hard to get your head around, an incredibly neutral color palette for attacks, some camera shake, and you got a hard mode that brings you back to a save point, over and over and over and over, until you set your controller down and ask yourself those really deep questions like, why did I put it on hard mode? Jesus Christ, who do I think I am? This game is fucking hard. I play games for fun, right? Oh my god, that was, you almost got me, game. Okay, you got me. And then you enter compartmentalization mode. You think about every move and you move with a purpose. And then you get through it. So yeah, that's hard mode. I beat the game on hard mode in about 4 to 5 hours and then unlocked insane mode. What on earth? No, I'm good. I mean, let's be honest, they could have done something a little bit more interesting here. It's literally don't get hit mode. Why even bother with a life bar? Call it a hardcore mode, something distinct. You're gonna pick up some cool items along the way, and on hard, you're gonna have to use them. Some cool magic, some pointless magic, some absolutely necessary passives, and some ultimately game-breaking upgrades. But my issue with Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight is not its difficulty, as much as I hyperbolize it here. It's the fact that it really just doesn't have a message that difficulty helps to deliver. Dark Souls is the culture of difficulty. It's discovery. It's the iconicized, I finally did it.
I did it!
Fury is the slaying of symbolic jailers, and it's steeped in an interesting narrative that supports that. Momodora is kind of like cool pixel art, good music, and an intriguing but ultimately uninhabited world. But on that part about beauty, look, it really is. And Hernan Zhao did a really good job here. The reds of the protagonist and her leaf motif, as well as the pixelated environments, especially the Islis shrines and the Bellflower gardens, honestly, they feel like they have soul and they do attract you into the world. The rest of it, not so much. There are original-ish characters. Now, who does that remind you of? But they don't really do anything for the narrative besides acknowledge your presence in the presence of a problem. The art and the music for Momodora set a pretty good stage for some really good storytelling, but no one at the office really wanted to pick up that stick apparently. In a game that's gonna break my back, I wanna know who's kicking my ass, and I never really did in this game. I eventually fought a queen, I guess. She apparently still has some loyal servants. These two think she's good people, but everyone else was just a baddie. And when you're needing to meditate between deaths, it's nice to have the motivation of a familiarity with your villain. This dude was just more pixels, and his pixels weren't nearly as cool as mine. Same with the castle that this all goes down in. I mean, you start in the shrines and are like, damn, I could get into this. But then you do get into it, and you're like, damn, why does it feel like I'm perpetually underground? It has moments, but it was unfortunate to watch one of Momodora's strong suits, the art, waste away over time. Notorious Knave, also known as Lunam, composed the music for Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight, and this was another one of its strong suits. It's not the soundtrack to Ori or anything like that, but this composer knows how to capture you in a short period of time. And when I tell people about this game, I will probably always have a line in there about how I really remember liking the music, and that I died a lot, but that the music was super solid. Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight is a project of passion, and it does occupy a special part in my memory as a game with just the right amount of pizzazz that I actually enjoyed replaying it immediately after having beat it, though with some pre-equipped game-breaking items, and somehow the impression that I was replaying it on insane mode. If you're into this sort of thing, you're going to find a game here that you're really happy with, and you're going to find a game with that you appreciate being able to have a conversation about later on. Momodora is kind of that dusty, uncut rock that kind of sort of looks like it might be a diamond in the rough. For you it might be, but to know that, you're going to have to give it a try. Hey there, this is Anthony. Thanks for getting to the end of that video. Again, comments, suggestions, they're always welcome. I really appreciate it. You know, this was kind of a special game. I remember talking this game up to friends a lot before I played it. I had actually originally played it probably 2 or 3 years ago. And like I say in the video, I just sort of remember liking the music. When I dove back in this time, I don't think I played it on hard originally, but clearly you can tell I was a little bit surprised by what I found. It's a good game. You gotta know that you're into this sort of thing though before you get into it. But still, I think the people who put this project together deserve a lot of credit, because it's one of those games where when you're playing it, you definitely pick up on things that took love to make. There are games that sort of, when they include elements of music and gameplay in certain ways, you just sort of pick up on that. So I'll include the links below for where you can find it. I'm not entirely sure how much it is, but I think it's probably pretty cheap, and currently we're doing the summer sale, so find it on sale and you're good to go. All right, thanks again.